This is a story I wrote in grade 9 called Teacher's Pet. No, I don't think I'll go to school today. I'll fake being sick. Anything to get away from that hideous English teacher, Mrs. Morton. Miranda, dear, are you getting ready for school yet? It's 8:30 already. You don't want to be late on the first day of grade 6, do you? Mother called. I'm not going to school today. I'm sick, I called back. Mother walked into the room and pulled the covers off my head. Miranda, I can tell you are not sick, so get out of bed already. But Mom, Mrs. Morton. Look, I don't want to hear anything more about Mrs. Morton. She is the sweetest lady I have ever met, and she really likes you. Why do you hate her so much? Mom, she's evil. Do you think that all the deaths of kids in this town are accidents? She kills them, Mom, I yelled. Now, Miranda, just because you don't like a certain teacher doesn't mean that you have to turn her into some sort of murderer, she reasoned. Robert acted the same way as you are when he had her in grade 6, too. But Mom, don't you see? Robert died that year. She killed him, I tried to tell her. We always ended up fighting about Robert's death. Mother was convinced that it had been an accident, but I knew the truth. Last year's field trip was supposed to be fun. Everyone was looking forward to swimming, fishing, and telling ghost stories by the campfire. The only problem was that Mrs. Morton was going. We overlooked that fact, though, in anticipation of the great time we were to have. That was where we made our first mistake. My brother was off by himself fishing. When I saw Mrs. Morton going toward him, I began to get suspicious, but I guess I didn't realize what would happen. I ran for the secluded spot when I heard my brother scream. Mrs. Morton was holding his head underwater. As soon as she saw me, she pulled him out and acted like she was saving him. It was too late for that, because I had seen. Everyone ran for the spot when they heard the screams. This time it was not my brother screaming, it was me. Robert's dead! Oh my God, he's dead! She killed him, I screamed as I began to cry. Poor child, she's delirious. Give her some room, Mrs. Morton said. Someone should get her some water. Well, maybe not. That is, after all, what killed her brother. You killed him, you did, I screamed as they dragged me away. The last I saw of my brother was the white sheet being pulled over his face by none other than Mrs. Morton herself. I feel like crying again when I think about it now. Mom, I saw her hold him under the water, I protested. Miranda, all you saw was her trying to save him. I don't want you to say anything more about it, she said. Fine, but that doesn't mean it's not the truth, I muttered and walked away. I was almost out the back door when I turned back and went into Robert's room. It was still the same as it had been before he died. I reached into the bottom drawer of his dresser and pulled out his survival knife. The cold steel felt good in my hand. Don't worry, Robert. Mrs. Morton won't be a problem after today. I missed my bus, so I had to walk to school. I was half an hour late. Mrs. Morton wasn't too pleased, but her evil looks didn't bother me today. She called me up to her desk after school. Why were you late? She asked me. Oh, quit the act already. I know you killed him. I saw you kill him, so don't deny it. I didn't kill your brother, but if I did, what could you do about it? She said in an evil voice. I guess I would just have to kill you now, wouldn't I said, in a tone that matched hers almost exactly as I pulled out Robert's knife. I loved the way it shimmered under the fluorescent lights as I held it above her head, preparing to plunge it into her skull. She wrestled the knife away from me just before it struck. Now the knife that I had intended to kill her with was about to be used on me. It was suspended in mid-air, about to plunge into my heart. I really don't want to do this. You're a very nice girl, but you just know too much, she said, as she shoved the knife into my heart and twisted it. Blood poured everywhere. This would be the second time Mrs. Morton had twisted a knife in my heart. As I was lying in a puddle of my own blood, breathing my last breaths, my mother walked into the classroom. I thought I told you not to kill her, too. Our deal was that you just kill him, Mother said. She knew too much, Mrs. Morton protested. You murderer! Miranda, are you still alive? She screamed hysterically as she shook me. Mom, I'm okay, for now, I said weakly. I knew that I wouldn't live for long. You'll pay for this, Morton. You'll pay. I'll take you to court. You'll be put away for the rest of your life, Mother screamed. And will you testify that you hired me to kill your son? I don't think I need to worry about you going to the police anyway, for the same reason all the other people who hired me never went, she said, as she raised the knife over her head for one last time.